The day the real daughter returned, I was kicked out. My adoptive parents insisted I taste the hardships their biological daughter had endured for 20 years. Hey, what hardships? For us true laborers, it's just a downgrade in consumption. We're the best at playing against the odds. At midnight, it was pouring rain in the capital. I stood outside the Liu family villa, with nothing on me but these clothes and the phone that's practically grown into my hand. Less than 2 hours after the real daughter came home, I was thrown out by my adoptive parents. Lu Yuan said I had to taste poverty and hardship in exchange for the 22 years she suffered. The Liu family door slammed shut. The cold, freezing rain slapped wildly against my face. As a wage slave who transmigrated into a cannon fodder fake daughter, I had enjoyed the status of a heiress for less than 24 hours before I was back to being dirt poor. I circled the villa and found a sheltered corner under the first-floor balcony, which happened to be right below my brother Lu Zhou's room. Don't worry. She's got nothing now, cleaner than her face. Once she tastes hardship, she'll see the benefit of being rich and come crawling back to your bed. Lu Yuan's voice came through the drainage pipe. TSK, the soundproofing in this villa is just average. I knew it. He was feeling me up this afternoon. Lu Zhou, who seemed to be into incest, was scowling and silent all evening. Turns out he was planning to keep a caged bird. But he's barking up the wrong tree. For Lu Zhou, owning only one luxury apartment counts as being too poor to live on. But for a true wage slave like me, as long as I have $200 in my e-wallet, I can scrape by for half a month, let alone this balance. There's still 80,000 pocket money left from this month. To the super rich, that might be pocket change for an ice pop, but for ordinary people like us, it could last years if we're thrifty. What they see as hitting rock bottom is just downgrading my lifestyle to me. 20 minutes later, the DD I ordered arrived. The driver got out, held an umbrella, and opened the car door for me, making me feel like a young lady again, worth the extra 20% I paid. I don't know what's wrong with heroines in TV dramas. After getting kicked out, they have to walk in the rain until they get a fever, all about torturing the body and heart. I can't afford medical treatment. Life is already hard enough. I won't force myself to suffer unnecessarily. The driver took me to the nearest budget hotel, a group deal for $300 a night. I took a hot shower. Wearing the hotel's pajamas, I sent my clothes to the front desk for dry cleaning. Before bed, I downed 2 packs of takeout delivered. $9.99 cold medicine. When you're away from home, you must take good care of yourself. For us poor folks, health is the most valuable thing. If no one cares about you, you have to care about yourself. Waking up, I felt refreshed and energized. I left the hotel in my dry-cleaned clothes and headed to a nearby wholesale market, squeezing into a crowded stall and bargaining like crazy. Then I spent $100 on 4 t-shirts, 3 pairs of shorts, and a pair of sneakers. Before I left, the shop owner grumbled while bagging my stuff. Girl, dress so well, and you sure know how to bargain. I gave it to you at cost price and even threw in this nice bag. Of course. How else could I sell this lowy outfit on me for a good price without a nicer bag? Too bad these lambskin shoes are completely ruined. Rich people might be burning their money. This pair of shoes had the soles worn through the very first day they were worn. Can't even sell them secondhand, but this phone case studded with rhinestones is worth a bit, an 8,000 yuan phone paired with a 28,000 yuan case. If I hadn't flipped through the recent shopping list, I wouldn't have dared to imagine money could be squandered like this. With all that, this cannon fodder original owner couldn't make it and had to sell herself at a bar, clearly missing a few brain cells. I spun around like a little top all morning, finally liquidating all the valuables on me. Now, I don't own a single thing over 29.9 yuan, all Pinduoduo style. Comfy and cool, this is the outfit that fits my spending habits. With a newly added 65,000 in my account, I walked with a swagger. Being rich means I gotta treat myself. In a small alley near the CBD, I ate a bowl of Zhao Xiang noodles. Not much meat, but a nice mix of fat and lean, crunchy cucumbers, and the sauce was homemade by the boss. The aroma could be smelled 2 miles away. The best part? Cheap, 15 yuan for a big bowl, and you can get free noodle refills after finishing. I hadn't eaten well since last night until noon, so I slurped it down quickly, scraping the bottom of the bowl. I swirled a few crispy deep-fried meat bits from the Zhao Xiang sauce into my mouth and let out a loud burp before I sold a single piece of clothing. I hadn't even touched a bowl of rice for fear of splattering rice grains on the clothes and ruining their price. Dressed in silk and jewels, I was always on edge. but downgrading my spending put me right at ease. A mountain pig can't stomach fine chaff. That's probably me in a nutshell. In the afternoon, I used my digital ID to register a new phone number and swapped my 8K phone for a 1.8K domestic model. Same familiar operating system. And man, it felt great. No more heartbreak when my phone hit the floor. Tough as nails, domestic phones are awesome. I scrolled through the chat logs. The past 2 days brought nothing but sarcasm and taunts, plus sugaring up messages from trust fund brats, led by brother. Go screw yourselves. A bit of cash, and they think they're hot stuff. How did the original me even end up like this? Her social game was terrible, not even a single dumb BFF to borrow money from. And the most annoying thing was receiving Lord Lu's patronizing sermon. He asked me if I knew my mistake. What's his problem? In a rule of law society, does he want to hang me from the city wall? I replied with piss off and blocked him. Know my mistake?
My ass. Who does he think he is?
After selling everything I could, I checked out with a big black trash bag holding all my worldly possessions. It had a few of my clothes, plus the hotel's disposable toothbrush and slippers. Hotels within the 4th ring road of Beijing are just too expensive. I planned to move out past the 5th ring road. I hadn't left this ridiculously expensive city yet because, as a graduating senior, I was about to receive my diploma and degree certificate. Before I transmigrated here, right after finishing junior high, my parents had sent me to work in a factory, what you'd call a dropout from the 9-year compulsory education system. The thought of soon becoming a certified college graduate, basically a beast of burden, gave me a little thrill. The logic in these novels these days for torturing cannon fodder is just nonsense. A perfectly capable person with a bachelor's degree just has to go work at the male lead's bar, basically asking to get a drink splashed in their face. I returned to campus on a day after the graduation ceremony had already ended. I deliberately avoided it. I've seen enough of Lu Yuan's smug look of superiority to last a lifetime. I'm not about to make myself sick a second time. Turns out we were roommates. Though I only went back to the dorm once or twice. During school, I stayed at the large flat my family bought nearby. The kind with a maid, which made Lu Yuan, who worked part-time every day, green with envy. Classic comparison trope. Pure resentment building, which is one of the reasons Lu Yuan had it out for me. But it's not my fault. It's not even my parents' fault. They were just migrant workers in the city and happened to have a kid in the VIP ward next door on the same day. Some unlucky coincidence. The rival family that the Lu family had bankrupted swapped the babies. My original parents were poor, but they took their guardianship seriously, raising Lu Yuan and getting her into the same university as me before they both passed away from illness. I don't understand why the Lu family had to humiliate that old couple so badly. What did they do wrong? Are poor people not allowed to have children? The day after the graduation ceremony, I went to the advisor's office alone and picked up my diploma and degree certificate. I won't let Lu Yuan lead a bunch of cannon fodder to humiliate me at the graduation ceremony. The graduation photo is just a formality. It's not like an ID card that requires me to be there in person. The principal adjusting my graduation cap's tassel won't earn me an extra dime. Why should I humiliate myself for a group of classmates I might never see again in this lifetime? The advisor looked at me with concern and said, Zhao Xiang, if you need anything, you can tell me. Nothing, I'm fine. Thank you, teacher. Except for that bunch of lunatics from the Lu family, the rest of this world is pretty normal. I'm not doing badly. Compared to the heiress who has to inherit the family business, I've fallen from heaven to earth. But compared to 90% of recent graduates nationwide whose families don't give them living expenses and whose salaries haven't hit their accounts yet, I still have some money in my pocket. So let the teacher's help go to someone who needs it more. I can manage on my own. That very afternoon, I ate my words. Having planned to inherit the family business, I missed the spring and fall recruitment cycles. Now, there are only a few companies at the job fair. The resumes on the sparse booths are stacked thicker than the toilet paper in the village outhouse. After the crowd thinned out a bit, I saw one of them, an HR, grab a stack of resumes and toss them into the trash can next to him. The younger one next to him exclaimed in surprise, "Manager, have you already finished reading all of these? Are these the ones that weren't good enough?" The supervisor smoothed down the thinning hair on top of his head, once again prioritizing the center over the edges, and said with an air of mystery, "Luck is also a form of strength. Yes, screw that. I'm going back to get my resume. I even paid $4 for double-sided printing." The balding guy looked constipated, seeing me fuming and ready to punch him. He immediately started digging through the trash. Miss, your luck is definitely as stunning as your looks. Here's your resume, not a speck of dirt on it. We're all just working stiffs, don't take it too seriously. I snorted. No wonder he became a leader. So flexible, bending when needed. I spun around fast, whipping my ponytail in his face, and walked off. If there's no place for me here, there will be somewhere else. If nowhere takes me, I'll go solo. Based on my decades of life experience, I could tell from the start that today was going to be more than just one ordeal. Sure enough, when it rains it pours, and a weasel always goes for the sick duck. Lu Zhou chased me all the way to school, just to torment me. He adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses with a sleazy air, his eyes dark and unreadable. Where have you been these past few days? You didn't answer my calls. Have you been hanging out with some unsavory people? Why did you kick me out the door? And then flush your brain down the toilet? Did you lose your memory? Who do you think you are, meddling in my business? I rolled my eyes. Lu Zhou frowned. A few days apart, and you've become so rude. He glanced at the resume in my hand. The corner of his mouth curled into a smirk. Looking for a job and still daring to offend me? Go ahead, try it. Which company would dare hire you? The Mediterranean-looking manager, who had been eavesdropping, curiously leaned in. We never received any notice not to hire you. What company are you from? So almighty. A hint of embarrassment flickered across Boss Lu's face. I said earnestly to the manager. He's watched too many island country dramas and thinks this is a chaebol nation with just one company nationwide. Even the HR guy joined in the gossip. No publicly listed company worth billions is named Lu. Before Lu Zhou's face could turn from red to purple, I pulled out my phone and showed the two gossipers the business registration app. Look, Lu Deconstruction. It even has lawsuits and spending restrictions. Hey, then what's he bragging about? Shut up. Lu Zhou's face turned green with anger. Lu Xiang, you look down on me? Don't ever come crawling to me for help later. Just wait and see. I won't walk. I'm taking the subway. I flashed my subway card in front of Lu Zhou. Snipping at that arrogant dragon act felt way too satisfying. Go ahead and buy out the subway company if you're so capable. Don't ever set foot in the Lu family home again. I walked away cheerfully from his harsh words. Subway to shared bike. I arrived at the Lu residence before noon. At this hour, only Mrs. Lu was home. Today's Kachacha search woke me up. Marx taught us that every pore of capital is bloody. I've been kicked out anyway. Still stuck in the same household register as those deadbeat debtors? What if a political review comes up and ruins my career? I didn't take advantage of the Lu family. And I don't want to be dragged down by the Lu family's misfortune. In the original novel, Lu Zhou used the household register to torment the original owner, and even the police couldn't help because it was a family matter. Better to cut ties cleanly now, to avoid being manipulated later. When Mrs. Lu saw me, frowning as if looking at something filthy. What are you doing here? The Lu family raised you in luxury for 22 years. We don't owe you anything. Without much emotion, I said calmly, I am no longer the daughter of the Lu family. I want to move my household registration to not cause you any trouble. Based on my years of reading stories, cannon fodder dies from emotional outbursts. At this moment, if I had acted wronged and sobbed, refusing to speak properly, it would have been useless other than being misunderstood. It would only add another classic scene of a tragic story, like the original owner who stammered when coming to get her ID card and got slapped twice more. Probably seeing that I wasn't here to ask for money, Mother Lu became much more agreeable. Butler Wang, go with her. Before coming, I had already informed my counselor to temporarily keep my household registration at the school and move it after I find a job. The procedures went smoothly. When I changed my name from Lu Xiang to Zhao Xiang, I finally felt like I had broken free from fate. The cannon fodder became an extra. In my own script, I have a name, a surname, and a household registration. Before boarding the high-speed train leaving Beijing, I casually snapped my old SIM card in half and tossed it into the trash. With this matter settled and nothing left to hold me, leaving was also part of my plan. Over 2 weeks, I switched hotels 6 times. At an average price of 300 yuan, the total cost was 4,200. Way too expensive, but still cheaper than renting a place. A tiny 10 square meter room near the subway outside the Fifth Ring Road, sharing a bathroom with others, costs at least 3,200. Rent requires 1 month's deposit and 6 months payment upfront. But the best salary I could find from recent job offers was only 6,500, minus commuting expenses. After daily meals, it's a classic case of earning in Beijing and spending in Beijing, with nothing to take home. Since I'm downgrading consumption, I also need to cut living costs. I plan to first hunker down in a county-level city.
Sheena is vast.
There's no need to be trapped in Beijing forever. I don't want to increase the chances of running into the main characters. Physical separation is the best way. I can't believe the author who wrote about the domineering CEO imprisoning me would set a plot in a small 28th-tier county town's vegetable market. The day before I left, I even saw Lu's father. Calling him dad now doesn't seem right, but uncle also feels strange. I called him President Lu. Compared to him, Lu Zhou's methods were far more naive, such as, while Lu Zhou was still bombarding me with harassing text messages, President Lu had already pinpointed the hotel I was staying at. He was so gentle, as if he had never kicked me out of the house. Just a father coming home after a casual meal outside. Why transfer the household registration? I need to give Lu Yuan an explanation. After a while, you'll still be a daughter of the Lu family and your engagement with the Chung family still stands. I'm not in the mood to play hypocritical games with this sly old fox. After all these years, I still haven't learned to be graceful. What? Your own daughter couldn't win Chung Yu's favor. That's really too bad. I can't either. You should remember, on the day I was kicked out, his bed photos with a female celebrity trended on the hot search all day. President Lu is like a heartless machine. Even his own children must have value. Before the marriage alliance with the Chung family, most of the time he stayed with his various mistresses, ignoring me completely. Later, when my brother joined the company, my age, education, and appearance were the things that caught Mrs. Cheng's eye the most. He only came back regularly to have dinner with Mrs. Lu. He thought dining together was some kind of reward, but actually Mrs. Lu would scold him every time. What's your deadbeat dad doing back? Messing up my mahjong game. Besides Mrs. Lu, he had 4 lovers. They'd given him a dozen kids. Kids weren't exactly a scarce resource to him. Whoever was useful became his favorite child. Mr. Lu always believed time is money and efficiency is life. When things didn't go his way, the driver hit the gas and off they went. Before leaving, he tossed out, "I was going to give you some pocket money. Guess you don't want it." When he said that, I kinda regretted it. To be precise, I regretted it to the point of twisting my guts. His pocket money was usually 600 grand, enough for me to buy an apartment. Making money is hard. For 5 bushels of rice, it's worth bowing down. But it's too late now. I can only tough it out in my head. I'm not falling for that bait. I'm not the original person. If Chung Yu humiliates me the way he humiliated her, I definitely won't be able to stop myself from punching him. 5 hours on the subway, I slept twice. After getting out of the station, I breathed in the sea breeze, salty and damp, nothing like Jing City, which reeks of exhaust fumes. The air in Hai County smelled of seafood, so familiar it made me a little excited. Before I transmigrated into this novel, I used to work here, earning a pittance. Of course, now I have 140,000 yuan in my card, still not enough for a down payment, but it's much better than Jing City. There, that wasn't even enough for rent. The high-speed rail station was built inside the scenic area, and the streets were full of people selling giant squid. 15 yuan each. There were also all sorts of handmade drink shops and cafes. I walked straight into Micheng. Back when I was acting like a rich heiress, I ate 8 meals a day and wouldn't step into any place with a per capita cost under 200 yuan. Now it's different. If a drink costs over 9.9 yuan, I have to think twice. But Micheng is different. As long as I have 5 yuan in my balance, I dare to walk in here. When I sipped on the large lemon water, I looked at the familiar decor in the shop and started to question life. I flipped through the wish wall, and sure enough, at the very back, there was a note I left with Sister Ting 2 years ago. The words, "I want to get rich," echoed loudly. So for cannon fodder like us who don't affect the main plot, they don't even bother to give us separate timelines. After the car accident, I could actually return to my original world as another person. I packed a cup of lemonade with 50% sweetness, transferred a few subway lines, and arrived at the familiar old neighborhood. Climbing up to the familiar top floor, I knocked on the door. Sister Ting came out with a messy bird's nest of hair, opening the door with sleepy eyes. She was usually busy with work, so she was catching up on sleep. I handed the lemonade to her. Is the West room for rent? She was clearly stunned. That room belongs to my sister. She had a car accident a month ago. I don't know if you'd mind. I carried my big black plastic bag and walked into the room as if I'd done it 100 times. I don't mind. A month, 500, right? I'll pay for half a year. Move in today. Wait a moment, I'll clear out my stuff. Sister Ting found a big box and started packing. It's fine, I can just keep using it. I skillfully opened the cabinet, took out my favorite little yellow duck bedsheet and put it on. Sister Ting rushed over excitedly and grabbed my arm. Who are you exactly? What's your relationship with Wang Nan? Sister Ting, don't be scared when I tell you. I am Li Wang Nan.
Ghost. Yeah.
Sister Ting rolled her eyes and fainted. TSK, TSK, TSK. Her mental fortitude is a bit lacking. I checked her mouth and nose. She was breathing steadily, even starting to snore lightly, still sleeping like a baby. By the time Sister Ting woke up, I was in the kitchen making dumplings. She crept over from the corner with a rolling pin in hand. I turned around. Sis, perfect timing. Come roll out the wrappers. Sister Ting shuddered and dropped to her knees in fright. Wang Nan, don't blame me. Your funeral arrangements were a bit shabby, but I spent half my savings on them. Those scumbag parents of yours came to cause trouble. I told them you owed high-interest loans and hired a few tough guys to scare them off in the village. Each got 2 slaps across the face. That lecherous old man who paid a bride price to buy you was there too. They went at each other like dogs, both ending up bruised and swollen. That unlucky brother of yours took out a high-interest loan and ran off to work in northern Myanmar. What other wish do you have? I'll take care of it for you, even if I have to sell everything. I patted the flour off my hands. I actually do have one wish left. I've got money now, so let's lease the shop downstairs and open a fried chicken joint. What the hell are you talking about? Ting, Jia stood up. I could tell she still wanted to punch me. You don't even have 5,000 in your bank account. I bought your urn for you. I opened my phone to show the balance. See for yourself. Ting Jia's eyes went wide. I'll even accept it if it's ghost money. When do we go sign the contract? I chuckled. You're not scared of ghosts anymore? Ting Jia tossed the rolling pin aside and shot me a glare. A poor ghost is still a ghost. Ting Jia and I were fellow sufferers. We've always been strapped for cash. Right after I finished middle school, my parents sent me to work in a factory. I worked 14-hour shifts both day and night for $1,800 a month, and my pay went straight to my mom. She only left me $200 for meals. I have a big appetite and couldn't even afford sanitary pads. Ting Jia was more resourceful than me. She worked from age 15 to 20, became a line leader, and cut ties with her parents. She switched to another factory. During my period, I fainted on the assembly line. She carried me back to the dorm, made me brown sugar eggs, and after I finished eating, she gave me a harsh scolding. She went to the foreman and got my wages for the month, telling me to keep them myself. I knew Sister Ting was fierce, but I could tell good from bad. She was the only person in the world who treated me well. When payday came, my parents stormed in from the village, tearing and hitting me. Sister Ting shielded me. Those 2 old bastards cursed her as cheap, saying she led me astray, and tore out several strands of her hair. Before that, Sister Ting had always scolded me for being spineless, for not fighting back. When my parents came, I could only kneel and kowtow. Sister Ting bled. For the first time, I grew a rebellious bone. I picked up a stool leg and beat those 2 old beasts until they were covered in bumps. Then Sister Ting grabbed me and ran off. Before leaving, she said fiercely, "Those old leeches won't get to suck our blood anymore." The 2 of us ran through layer after layer of mountains. We crossed the plains and arrived at a coastal city thousands of miles away. When we got there, Sister Ting said she liked the sea. So we settled down. Both Sister Ting and I had injured hands, so our aim wasn't steady anymore. We couldn't get into factories or hand out flyers. We set up stalls, did sales, anything low barrier that could make money. Later, Sister Ting went to a small company. She worked in admin and sales, while I did facials at a beauty salon. We saved some money. Together we rented this small property in a city center village redevelopment area, a top-floor unit with a flat roof, 1,000 yuan a month, 2 south-facing bedrooms, and a small living room facing the street. Opening the window, You could see a plain trees, leaves swaying. It made the room look lush and green. Sister Ting bought a secondhand TV for 300 yuan. The bottom right corner of the screen had bad reception. It didn't show a picture, but it didn't stop us from watching. Every day after work, we'd huddle together, watching TV while picking vegetables and cooking. Before my accident, Sister Ting's company couldn't pay wages. They doled out money like squeezing toothpaste, little by little. The global economy is bad right now. Big companies are laying off, small companies are closing down, and our beauty salon can't get a single customer for half a day. Ting Jia learned a recipe to make fried chicken and the seasoning is spot on, but it's not convenient to sell it from a stall. It would be best to have a shop. There's a suitable one downstairs from us, but the rent is 30,000. Every time Ting Jia and I pass by, it stings. We don't have the money, can't afford it at all. I never thought that getting into a car accident would bring a pleasant surprise. Hu Han-san am back. Ting Jia and I prepared for a month, burping fried chicken flavor, before we finally came up with the 5 best tasting sauces. Sweet and spicy, honey, garlic soy sauce, sweet and sour, cheese egg yolk, honey mustard. All the flavors are covered. Each one is delicious. The fried chicken skin is golden and shiny, and even a light touch makes a crisp crackling sound. The moment you bite into it, the chicken inside bursts with tender, juicy meat. The chicken has been marinated so long that even the bones are flavorful, and you can't help but suck your fingers after eating. Before the store opened, Sister Ting and I double-fried the fried chicken and took it to the night market to set up a stall. Double frying made the chicken crispier, and it wouldn't go soft and affect the texture even when cool. I also pickled some of my best spicy and sour radish cubes to give out as a bonus. They paired perfectly with the chicken, refreshing and addictive. On the first day, only a few people came to buy. 3 days later, with more and more return customers, our chicken sold faster every day. Half a month later, the new store opened. We had already built up a solid base of loyal customers. On the first day, we sold 83 orders including dine-in and takeout. At 10 p.m., we closed up and started counting the money. After deducting the day's costs for rent, utilities, and ingredients, we'd earned about 500 bucks. Sister Ting and I could each take 250. We grinned from ear to ear like a couple of goofs. At 250 a day, with 4 days off a month, we'd each earn 6,500 bucks. With my bachelor's degree, the highest salary I'd ever earned in Beijing was just that, let alone in this tiny county town ranked 28. The two of us used to work like dogs for a measly 3,500 a month. This path was the right one. The fried chicken shop was on track, and Sister Ting and I were busy every day. Buying ingredients, marinating chicken legs, changing oil, frying chicken, mixing sauces, and also wiping tables and mopping the floor. Like 2 little spinning tops, but thinking that every bit of effort we put in would go into our own wallets made us very happy. After work at night, the two of us would take a shower, then collapse into bed exhausted, not even bothering to watch TV. Occasionally on days off, we'd order 2 portions of takeout. We binged on dramas for half a month straight. The guy who delivers the ingredients had a thing for Sister Ting. Every time he came, he brought her milk tea. I slumped on the sofa. Brother Liu is a nice guy. Aren't you going to consider him? I'm busy making money. No time. Sister Ting threw a throw pillow at me. Mind your own business. I laughed heartily. My romantic prospects have long withered away. In China, you must never jinx things by talking about them. There was a knock at the door. I opened it. It was Cheng Yu, my ex-fiancé. I had been kicked out of the house the day I transmigrated. If it weren't for the original owner's room being full of his photos, I wouldn't have known who he was at all. A simple white t-shirt looked especially stylish on him. But the ceiling was low. His 1.9-meter height looked a bit out of place in the room. He was indeed handsome. No wonder the original owner had been a pathetic fiancé for years, not even flipping out when she was cuckolded.
Come in, I don't have any tea.
I poured him a glass of warm water. Cheng Yu scanned the place with a curious, yet disdainful look. This isn't even as big as your old walk-in closet.
Get to the point.
I don't want to waste words. The original owner liked handsome men, but I only like money. I told my family that if we have to form a marriage alliance with the Liu family, it has to be you. I was a bit surprised. You don't have a crush on me, do you? Cheng Yu smiled, a bit mockingly. No, not at all. You don't meddle in things. You're pretty good at taking care of people like a proper wife. Liu Yuan is out of her mind. insisting on talking about true love with me. I sighed. Indeed, love is like sand in your hand. The tighter you hold it, the faster it slips away. Aunt Ting is wise. Without dating, nothing goes wrong. Bro, I've been kicked out. Since your family wants a marriage alliance, you want a real exchange of benefits. Finding a fake heiress would be worse than not marrying at all. That won't do. My grandfather said, I can't inherit the shares unless I get married. My eyes lit up. Well, let's talk about money then. Chungyu pulled out a prenuptial agreement, listing countless terms and conditions. Marry me, be a good Mrs. Chung in the Chung family, and don't meddle. The contract had too many words, making my vision go dark. Then, he pulled out a check. Write down any number you like. I immediately saw the light again. Sister Ting beside me handed over a pen. Ever since Chingyu walked in, she had been silent like a background prop.
You nodded a head.
I understand. I picked up the pen and started writing from the very beginning. I filled all the blanks with nines.
He's so happy.
Chungyu fiddled with his phone for a while, then glanced at the check nonchalantly. He jumped up like a cat with a burned paw. Are you crazy for money? Our family assets are only 1.9 billion. You're writing me a check for 1 billion? I got a bit triggered too. Didn't you say to write a number I like? I just like the 9 billion. Chungyu's face turned red with anger. Gold digger, I misjudged you. We're done. Don't come crawling back to me. I put my hands on my hips and cursed back. If you're broke, why act so high and mighty? Are you blaming me for your own blindness? Didn't you come chasing after me yourself? That crappy fried chicken shop of yours, how much can it earn in a lifetime? You dare ask for 9 billion. I said, righteous and indignant. That's my price for earning money standing up, and also my price for earning money on my knees. It's this number. Take it or leave it. If you don't have the money, get lost. Chungyu's face was red with anger. He stood up and was about to leave. Before he left, I noticed the charm on his phone. It looked like the same pattern as the phone case I had sold. I had checked today's almanac. Favorable for wealth luck. I stopped Chungyu.
Wait.
You can leave, but this phone charm was a gift from me. Leave it here. Chungyu yanked off that ugly little doll charm and threw it hard onto the coffee table. You reminded me. What bad luck. Sister Ting leaned in. What do you want that junk for? It's not worth anything. Take his watch instead. I probably didn't buy this watch, but I'm going to give it a try. That watch of yours. I went up and stopped him again. This is mine, bought by myself. Oh, what are you getting excited about? I just wanted to say it was really ugly, I muttered sheepishly. That watch looked pretty expensive. This sucker's dog brain actually remembers something. Bang. Chungyu slammed the door and left. Sister Ting chased after him, cursing. What's your deal? Pay for the door. She kept scolding all the way down to the first floor, and then back up. Seeing me fiddling with that little pendant, she said, What are you looking at that ugly thing for? I opened Xinyu app, and held my phone up to her eyes. 599,999, directly blinding her. Sister Ting carefully picked up the doll. This? Why is it so expensive? You don't get it. The taste of rich people is hard to explain. On the day I sold the doll, I bought the shop downstairs. I bought it all together, along with a 90 square meter apartment on the second floor. After wrapping things up, Sister Ting and I bought a 75-inch big TV. A big TV is really great. When binge-watching shows, you can even see the pores on the actors' faces clearly. I took a sip of ice-cold cola. So satisfying. This is the life I want. Sister Ting laughed. Look at you, such small ambitions. If you love money so much, just sign a contract with Chungyu. You'd get way more than this. Sis, it's always been others leeching off us. I'm not used to relying on someone else to support me. I still prefer earning my own money. Sister Ting put her arm around me. Look at that guy ordering everyone around. No amount of money is worth putting up with that attitude. Sooner or later, you'll get sick from the anger. Earn your own money, spend it yourself, stand tall. Go knead some dough. I'll prepare the filling. Today's a happy occasion, we're making dumplings. This month, the fried chicken shop made over 20,000. Sister Ting and I moved into a new home. Life is getting better and better. The plane trees outside the window are lush green, with thick leaves and branches. So what if I'm a real heiress or a fake one? I just want to steadily rely on myself to make a living, and seriously live my own little life. A plain but happy life doesn't cost much at all. Making dumplings. Sister Ting has been into those family melodramas lately, crying right into the filling. I gave her a disgusted look. These dumplings are definitely going to be salty. Sis, do you want to get married? Look at how miserable they are. Why would I want to go through that? I don't either. But who's going to take care of us when we're old? Ting wiped her tears. I think we can go back to the village and adopt another little Zhaodi. We have money now, we can raise 2 girls. This time, we'll make sure they go to school. Sounds good to me.
The end.
Side story. Land construction went bankrupt. After CEO Liu jumped off a building. A bunch of children's lawsuits went viral online. I asked Ting, what does it mean for a trust to be pierced? I didn't get it. Seems like the money is locked up and can't be spent. Just focus on frying your chicken, it's almost burnt. Other people's business. Has nothing to do with us. Even a starving camel is bigger than a horse.
Stop worrying.
Delivery order. 0532, who's it for? Ting was running around busy. True, us ordinary folks just watch for the fun of it. Times change. I made 2 more batches of fried chicken. The important thing is to live my own life well.
The end.